Hey, it's Vic Dorfman, entrepreneur, helping you wake up earlier, feel healthier, and get shit done in your business and personal life. And you are watching episode number 11 of the Rise and Shine for Life show, answering the question, how do I wake up full of energy? All right, so there's a few things that I can advise you. Some of them are pretty common sense. Some of them are a little bit less intuitive. Obviously, it all starts with going to bed earlier. This is something that I've hammered to death, and I hope by now it's clear. And it's a super simple concept, but it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy to actually implement it because you know, in our brains, and Jerry Seinfeld has an awesome skit about this. He says there's morning person, there's morning you, and then there's evening you. Evening you doesn't give a shit about morning you. Evening you wants to stay up, watch movies, talk on the phone, lays away the time basically. But morning you, wakes up after 5 hours of sleep, cursing evening you that he screwed you this way. So evening you and morning you, they have to make friends, or they have to at least shake hands and make a pact. And it's something that I call the hard stop, meaning the time that you stop doing work, the time that you stop watching YouTube, the time you turn off all devices and begin your wind down ritual so that you can get to bed on time, wake up early feeling refreshed, and get a decent amount of sleep. Now, when you're actually waking up, now this is a bit of a different part, there are a few tips that I can give you that will help you get out of bed with less effort. Okay, the first thing I want to bring to your attention is when you wake up, when you first sort of open your eyes and realize that you're not sleeping anymore, you're going to feel, and you have to kind of be mindful and pay attention to notice this, you're going to feel your heart is speeding up. Your heart's beating a little faster than when you were kind of asleep, right? Your heart starts beating faster. You get this little surge of basically stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, kind of telling your body, hey, get out of sleep, get out of the sleep state and wake up and make something of yourself, damn it. Kidding, sort of. And what you want to do is you want to ride that adrenaline wave, that cortisol wave. You want to capitalize on that wave. And in fact, there have been studies that show that the best thing to do when you wake up is to get up. So when you wake up, you get up. Why? Because your body has just gone to the effort of producing these stress hormones. So if you kind of lay around and you allow yourself to get back to bed, or you hit the snooze, and then your body has to do that stress response all over again, because that's what it is. It's a stress response. So you're abusing your body's mechanism for helping you get your ass up. Okay, and that's not good for you. You're creating a negative feedback loop essentially. And so what you want to do is, as soon as you feel that adrenaline and cortisol and that sort of sense of stress, ride that wave, get out of bed, capitalize on it. I'm not saying it's easy to do that when you're tired and you want to close your eyes and get back to bed, but there is a certain element of willpower. But you only need to exercise that willpower very temporarily, and then the rest will sort of follow on its own. That's the hardest part. Absolutely, no doubt about it. And it does become effortless, but it is not necessarily effortless from the beginning. Now, the second thing you want to do is you want to open your blinds or your curtains as soon as possible. Now, if you're getting up really early, like 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m., it's not light out yet, okay? So you can't use the natural light to help your mind to wake up. But what you can do is you can turn on all the lights in your room. And if it is light outside, you'll definitely want to open your curtains, because natural light, stops the release of melatonin, which is one of the many hormones. There's over a dozen, or even more than that, and neurotransmitters that regulate your sleep-wake cycle and your wakefulness. Okay, there's a lot of hormones involved. There's serotonin, glutamate, cortisol, all of this stuff that I won't get into. But light triggers this sort of the stoppage of the production of melatonin. Okay, now the other thing you want to do is you want to hop in the shower right away. And this is a bit optional. This is a personal thing. I know some people actually don't like to shower as soon as they wake up. For me, it's like I feel kind of sticky and dirty a little bit, and like I got morning breath, whatever. So I like to go to the shower right away, sort of wash myself, brush my teeth, whatever. And the important thing is to use cold water. Now this is a whole other video in and of itself, but you don't have to necessarily start with cold water. You can start with warm water, but you want to finish the shower with cold water. And it's a kick in the nuts. And you know, depending on where you live and how cold your shower gets, it could be a serious kick in the nuts, or it could be a mild kick in the nuts. But one thing is for certain: cold water wakes you up, makes you alert, gives you like a refreshed feeling, and there's a lot of health benefits to cold exposure that are out of the scope of this video. The fourth thing that I would recommend is to do some physical exercise as early as possible. As soon as you're out of the shower and you're awake, you want to do some kind of light calisthenics, or ideally go straight to the gym and lift heavy weights. That's the best case scenario. Go to the gym, lift heavy weights, do some cardio. What I always do personally, and this is again optional and dependent upon your circumstances and your goals and preferences, whatever, is I do 200 thereabouts jumping jacks. I do a bunch of mobility stuff, like stretch my hip flexors, get my shoulders nice and warm and loose. My shoulders are just jacked up from years of lifting and jiu-jitsu. And basically get your heart rate up, and it wakes you up very nicely. And by that time, usually, even if I haven't had a lot of sleep, like today I got about 5 hours of sleep, which is not ideal, and I don't like it, and I don't feel as like chipper, but I'm perfectly alert and awake now that I've done some exercise. And then right after this video, I'm heading to the gym. I'm going to lift heavy. And the counterintuitive thing is that you would think that doing strenuous exercise after, you know, not getting enough sleep, and hopefully you're not getting enough sleep, but let's say worst case scenario, you didn't get as much sleep as you wanted to, you would think that doing strenuous exercise is going to make you more tired. In fact, for some reason, and I'm not sure of the science behind this, probably has to do again with stress hormones and testosterone. But when you lift heavy, it like jolts you into a state of alertness, and it kind of endures for most of the rest of the day, especially if you don't have a heavy meal in the afternoon, which is going to be my sixth tip. But now I want to share my fifth tip first, which is that you want to start your day doing something you love. Man, what is the point of waking up earlier than the rest of the world, if you're not doing it to free up your time to do something valuable, something meaningful? All right, I'm doing this because I'm so passionate about waking up early. It's something that I have struggled with so much, and the benefits of it have been so tremendous to my business and personal life that I feel absolutely obligated. I feel it's my duty to share this. Not only that, but I'm also building a business, an information product business, out of helping people who are in the same position that I was in to accomplish this same thing without having to go through the same struggle. So it's like a super win-win-win situation, and you can do the same thing. You can build a business in the spare time that you recover. You can work on your current business. You can get fit. You can spend time with your family. Well, your family's probably asleep, okay? But you can just do any number of things. But you want to pick something that gets you up in the morning. Now, when you're like first getting up out of bed and you're tired, you're not even gonna probably think about that passionate thing that you're gonna do. You're like, whatever, I don't care about anything. I just want to go back to bed. Which is why this is a step-by-step process. This is an algorithm, okay? You have to do the steps in a certain order, in a certain manner, in order for it to be effective, all right? Which is why it's not easy. It looks easy for some people because they've got it down, but if you're struggling with this, you know that it's not easy. It's a technology, and it's a set of steps and habits that you've got to master one by one and in the right order. Okay, and once you do that, once it's internalized and it becomes automatic, that's when the effortlessness kicks in. But before then, sorry, it's going to require some effort, just like anything worthwhile. Final tip, I could really go on, but I'm going to keep it to 6 tips only, is eat a light lunch, okay, or light breakfast, or don't eat breakfast at all. Here's the thing. What you eat, how much you eat, is going to influence your wakefulness. I'm sure you've noticed that if you have a big breakfast or a big lunch, like heavy with like a lot of carbs and maybe a lot of fat, it's going to make you sleepy. It's going to make you want to sleep. And, you know, if you must eat, I would actually recommend fasting for the first half of the day up until, you know, noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then when you do eat, keep it real light and really low on carbs. Okay, that's just a generally good approach anyway, because fasting is incredibly healthy. All right. And a low carb diet is generally considered, a low to moderate carb diet, depending on your activity level, if you're an athlete, whatever, is generally considered to be very healthy. And that's also a whole nother topic. But, you know, if you're going to have a lunch, go with like a tuna salad, you know, maybe a little bit of sweet potato. Don't go heavy on the carbs. Don't guzzle caffeine. You'll get instant feedback from your body if you fuck up, right? Like if you say, oh, I'm gonna have this nice big pastrami sandwich, and then right afterwards you're like, oh. That's your body telling you, dude, don't do this next time. So really listen to your body, tune into your body, be mindful of the signals it's sending you. If you're tired, that's the signal, okay? That is the signal. So respect it. And those are the 6 tips that I would recommend for starting your day with energy and continuing it with energy, for that matter. And if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Be sure to subscribe to this channel to keep getting my free tips and videos. And above all, make sure to click the link in the description of this video to get your free course on how to not suck at waking up anymore. And that contains my absolute best tips distilled into a free email course that goes at your own pace, so you only get the next lesson when you're actually ready for it. And that, I think, is going to help you more than anything, because it has the most actionable advice that I've put out. Okay, so see you guys next time. See you early in the morning. Go get after it and rise and shine for life. Your life is waiting for you. Your business is waiting for you. Go grab it by the balls. See you guys later.